Hello everybody, I am Vijay CSC undergrad. Today I'm gonna decided to teach you custom events in Java. So custom events provide a powerful mechanism for creating flexible and modular applications in Java. They enable objects to communicate with each other in a decoupled way, promoting loose coupling and prevent improve code maintainability. So using these custom events, it enhances the code maintainability, and it allows us to create flexible and modular applications in Java. Custom events are especially used when dealing with asynchronous operations, user interactions, or complex state changes within an applications. So in case of asynchronous operations and interacting with users, we can use these exceptions. So custom events provide a flexible and efficient way for creating for objects to communicate and interact in Java applications. It facilitates loose coupling, improve code maintainability. So how to define these custom events in Java? So these are the steps that are required to define and uh, to define the custom events, and by following these steps we can implement the custom events. So first step, define a custom event. First, we need to define a custom event class. This class will extend the event object class. So, what is this event object class? Event object class is the parent of all event classes, and it is a generic class. And then you can create a event listener interface. This interface will define the method that will handle the event. And next step is creating a source to file events. We need a class that will be the source of event. This class will have methods to add or remove, notify listeners. And fourth step is implementing the listener in a separate class. We implement the listener in a separate class to handle the events. So this is the code used to implement the custom event. So in this code, first I have imported this event object and event listener. The event object is the pa- uh, is the parent object of all the events, and it can be, and custom event will inherit that event object in order to create the user defined user defined events. So in this first we'll include the constructor. In constructor we will pass the object source and then a message, and this message is optional. And for returning the message, I have defined the get message method. And then we should create the event interface. So event interface should extend the event listener, and then defining the event source class. So event source class contain a list of listeners. So why uh so in this why we use a list? So why? Because for defining the list of listeners, for defining the multiple listeners, so including those all listeners in a list. To include those all listeners in list, I have created a list and then added these listeners to the listeners list. And after adding, then I also removed those listeners after performing the actions. So here is the trigger event method. So when this statement is executed, the object source will be passed to the custom event class. Then this will be passed to the event object. And then we have also passed one message. that message will be returned uh, when we call get message. Next, main class. So in this class, I have created the object for the event source, and also created a object for custom listener class. So this is a custom event listener class. For this, I have created the object, and on custom event, this method will display that when the custom event is has done, then this message will be displayed. So we are adding this listener and we're adding this listeners to the event source, and using the event source object, we are making the triggers. So let me run the code so that you will understand. Yeah. Here you can see that received event hello world. So where it is, so the execution will be started from the main method. Here you can see that the listener object is for the class custom event listener, the listener object is created. So that object will we are passing to the add custom listener method. So that will call the event, and then this trigger is used to pass the message to that custom event. And when the trigger is when the trigger event method passes the hello world message, then that will be received by the on custom event method. So here we can see that in the output we got received event and hello world. So when this method is invoked, then it will be uh, on this trigger event, then custom event will be called and then received event, and the hello world will be printed. So after calling these events, then we will remove the custom event listener. So, and last statement is trigger. So after removing these events, if we still want to create, uh, if we still want to call the trigger event, then this should not be printed. Will get output in the will get output. Here see the received event, hello world, received event, another event. So this is how we can create the custom events in Java. So what we have done so far, we have defined a custom class, custom event class, and a custom event listener interface. And we have also implemented event source that has the list of listeners and that fires the event. We have also created one event listener example that implements custom event, and we have demonstrated how to add the event listeners. So this is the way how we add the listeners. So what are the advantages by using these custom events? These custom events provide a flexible and efficient way for objects to communicate and interact in Java applications, and this promote the code maintainability and modularity in system design. So I hope you understand this. Thank you.